Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How you guys doing? How you doing? How you doing? All right? All right, cool. How was your weekend? Well, let me tell you how my weekend was. Real quick, I went record shopping this weekend. There's a farmer's market uh, just outside of the Lehigh Valley that has a record store in it that I can't believe is still in operation, and I bought 5 records, but I'm not talking about those records today. Um, I am going to talk about some stuff that I listened to that I had to get myself, pretty much, or what I was gravitating to preteen, preteen, preteen. I'm going to talk about that, and then I'm going to talk about what happened, and then I'm going to talk about then it goes thrash metal. So I am what they call an MTV baby, right? Um, 1981 MTV pops off, right? And they start playing a video, and it's to this day, one of my favorite songs. But this is like, I was fortunate enough to have hippie kind of parents that had a lot of music in the house, a lot of music, and record collection, stuff like that. So FM radio at the time, like all the what is now classic rock, all that stuff was when I was a kid. But MTV would play Bringing On the Heartbreak by Def Leppard. This is probably the first band, wow, with all the glare, that I found myself, if you will. Um, my parents had the Zeppelin and the Pink Floyd and the Cream. That was all, um, coming at me in volume, and that was fine. I liked all that music. But when I saw the videos for the Def Leppard songs, particularly that one, and then the Pyromania would come. I still love this thing. On Through the Night. I still love this record. And of course, the videos for, and this one's, I guess a lot of people my age don't like this one or a little bit older. That's fine. I get it. It's a lot poppier, but for a 6-year, 7-year old or whatever, it's pretty catchy. Um, anyway, after Def Leppard, obviously, I wanted to find some more of that on my own. I thought I had Stay Hungry, but I cannot find it. But I did find this. It's old ass. It's like a 45 swag too, man. I was just playing it. Yeah, this song sucks. But, well, it doesn't suck. It's an old song, I think, that they've covered or whatever. But I like the Stay Hungry album. Great record. But yeah, Twisted Sister was really important. Twisted Sister was really important. Def Leppard and Twisted Sister. Also, there was a little bit of this for a little bit. The Scorpions, definitely. Um, this was pretty short lived, but there was a little bit of a guy living up the street that was an older metalhead guy. And I remember he liked the fact that I was wearing a denim jacket or whatever. But he taped me some of that Scorpion stuff. Gave me a tape, man. Ran a tape off for me. It was really cool. But yeah, after that, around this time, this happened. Yeah. Skateboarding. I see a lot of musicians and people in the metal world talk about some part of their life where skateboarding was a very transitional period. Uh, I still skateboard, but not to the level that I did, or even that wasn't anything really groundbreaking. But I always enjoyed skateboarding, and I still strap a skateboard to my bag when I go somewhere on the airport, unless I need to. And that's kind of how I get around. Um, I did it to go to all those Vegas festivals that were the Psycho Fests. Yeah, I just strapped a skateboard, and I would Uber or get shuttle from the airport to the hotel, but everything else was all skateboarded. But anyway, yeah. Once I start skateboarding, that led you into um, individuals that were more into the punk and hardcore stuff. And one thing they can all say they hated it, but all the punk and hardcore kids where I grew up skateboarding, they all like Metallica. Now, Puppets, I think, was the first one I had heard, but around this, within a week, I heard Fight Fire with Fire, and that still, to this day, is one of the greatest guitar sounds and riffs ever. It's jolting when it starts. It's like starts out in one speaker, and it's literally like one of the most aggro guitar sounds still to this day. Vicious, standard tuning, absolutely ridiculous, or whatever. So Metallica happened. And that led a short while, which I think I may have heard this first. I'm pretty sure I did. Well, my camera's crazy. Um, yeah, the Dead Kennedys. This was a short-lived thing, but I did like the Dead Kennedys for a little while. And there was, I don't have a copy of it, but the Suicidal Tendencies first album was a really, really big deal. I know I have a CD of it, but I don't have an LP of that one. There was also another band called Excel that repressed their albums just a few years ago, and I didn't get them, and I should have. Now I regret it. But yeah, that Excel was a big important one. I think I might have been 13 by that point. There's another one. I talked about this band before, Dead Brain Cells. It's funny. I did a video on them, like one of the first videos I ever did, and then they contacted me through like Facebook. The guitar player Andy, I think, was a super cool guy, and yeah, we talked via Messenger for a little bit, and I was supposed to call him, but I never did. It was one of those I'll do it tomorrow. I don't really know what to say. I'll do it tomorrow, and then it got like too long, where it got awkward. It was too long for me to call him back. But anyway, I always wanted to tell him that I didn't know they're a Canadian band. Canadian, like pretty aggro, thrashy, punk kind of stuff. I always thought they were a Bay Area band when I was a kid until I saw them on a podcast and I found out they were Canadian. But I don't know if they knew they were in the like skateboarding culture, at least where I grew up. They kind of came along with Suicidal Tendencies and Cryptic Slaughter, DRI, all that kind of stuff. But that album particularly, I really gravitated toward as a kid. And then, I guess I was about 13 when this came out, but Leeway. Big deal. Big deal. Yeah, Rise and Fall, Mark of the Squealer. I still listen to this, man. I popped this out a little while ago. As I know we lost Eddie a few years ago, or a year ago, or something like that. Might have been 2, 3 years ago by now. Yeah, Eddie, he could sing. But even though they were like a hardcore band, they were really, really talented. There was a lot of stuff going on. The Crumbsuckers back then, like extremely talented guys playing like hardcore that was thrash influenced and really proggy and and stuff. Really cool stuff to grow up onto, especially that I would eventually become an aspiring guitar player and get into bands and all that other kind of shit. But yeah, there's a lot of other stuff I'm forgetting, but that is just some stuff I grew up on. Like Def Leppard was a big deal growing up. I found myself, the Twisted Sister, and then I moved. Parents moved to the other side of town, and that's when the skateboarding friendships happened, and then the slew of the punk and thrash metal started, and then we gravitated more towards the thrash um, after all of that. But anyway, yeah, that's the video for today. If anybody had any commonalities with that, I remember my best friend. We were walking though, and we were probably like 10 or 11 or something. We were walking, and he was like, you know, you're on your own with that Def Leppard shit, man. I ain't gonna be seeing you with ain't gonna be seen with you with that shit. You better leave that shit at home. We were already skating. The kids were older. They were like punk and hardcore and thrash metal and stuff like that. He wasn't gonna be seen with no Def Leppard. Anyway, yeah, that's the way it was on the East Coast, Northeast Pennsylvania. Yeah, that's the video for today. That's the video for today. If you had any commonalities with that growing up, put it in the comments. If not, whatever.